Remember when dinner parties were a wild adventure in culinary creativity? Picture this: a towering lime jello mold studded with pineapple chunks and shredded carrots, wobbling precariously as your hostess proudly sets it on the table. Your eyes widen, unsure if it's a salad, a dessert, or some alien life form. Fast forward to today, where kale smoothies and quinoa bowls reign supreme. But wait! Before you dismiss those jiggly wonders as relics of a bygone era, let us take you on a nostalgic journey through the wacky world of 70s jello salads. We're about to show you why these colorful concoctions deserve a comeback in our modern, oh-so-serious foodie culture. Did you know that in 1974, Americans consumed over 500 million boxes of jello? That's right, folks. We're talking about a jello tsunami sweeping across the nation. But to understand why these wiggly wonders became such a big deal, we need to take a step back and look at the food landscape of 1970s America. The 70s were a time of bold experimentation and unbridled creativity in the kitchen. It was an era when home cooks weren't afraid to mix unexpected flavors and textures, pushing the boundaries of what was considered normal cuisine. Contrast that with today's health-focused food trends, where every calorie is counted and every ingredient scrutinized. Back then, the focus was on fun, flavor, and presentation, and nothing embodied that spirit quite like the jello salad. So, how did these jiggly creations rise to such dizzying heights of popularity? It all started with the convenience factor. Jello was easy to make, affordable, and incredibly versatile. You could whip up a fancy-looking dish with minimal effort, perfect for impressing guests at potlucks and family gatherings. But it wasn't just about convenience. Jello salads became a canvas for culinary creativity. Let's talk about some of the popular jello salad recipes that graced dinner tables across America. Picture this: a bright green lime jello mold, studded with chunks of canned pineapple and shredded carrots. Sounds pretty tame, right? Well, hold on to your taste buds, because some adventurous cooks would throw in a handful of miniature marshmallows or even a dollop of cottage cheese for good measure. But wait, there's more. How about the strawberry pretzel salad? This sweet and salty masterpiece featured a crunchy pretzel crust, topped with a layer of creamy sweetened cream cheese and whipped topping, all crowned with a glorious red layer of strawberry jello and fresh strawberry slices. It was the perfect blend of textures and flavors that kept people coming back for seconds and thirds. Now, if you think that's wild, let us introduce you to the perfection salad. This savory sensation combined lemon or lime jello with shredded cabbage, carrots, and celery. Yes, you heard that right. Vegetables suspended in jello. It was often served as a refreshing side dish at lunch or ladies' gatherings, proving that jello could transcend the boundaries between sweet and savory. And we can't forget about ambrosia, the fruity jello treat that was especially popular in the South. This colorful concoction usually featured orange or lemon jello mixed with bits of fruit cocktail, shredded coconut, and sometimes even those ubiquitous miniature marshmallows. It was like a party in a bowl. Now, you might think these unusual combinations were just random acts of culinary madness. But what if we told you there was a method to this jello mayhem? Get ready to discover the surprisingly strategic world of 1970s food presentation, where every color and texture was carefully chosen to make your taste buds dance, or at least wiggle with curiosity. Imagine a bright green jello mold studded with pineapple chunks, shredded carrots, and, wait for it, tuna fish. Sounds bizarre, right? But in the 1970s, this was the epitome of culinary creativity. Jello salads weren't just about throwing together whatever ingredients were on hand. They were carefully crafted masterpieces designed to catch the eye and spark conversation at any gathering. The visual appeal of these jiggly creations was a huge part of their charm. Home cooks would spend hours perfecting elaborate molds that showcased colorful layers and textures. These weren't just side dishes. They were the centerpieces of potlucks and family dinners. Picture a shimmering tower of red and green jello, each layer perfectly defined and filled with an array of fruits, vegetables, and sometimes even meats. It was like edible modern art. Color played a crucial role in 70s cuisine, and jello salads were the perfect canvas for this vibrant era. Bright, contrasting colors were used to stimulate appetite and attract attention. A popular combination was the strawberry pretzel salad, featuring a salty pretzel crust, a creamy layer of sweetened cream cheese, and a final layer of strawberry jello with sliced strawberries. The result? A visually striking dish that was as much a treat for the eyes as it was for the taste buds. But let's address the elephant in the room, or should we say, the tuna in the jello. These unusual flavor combinations often raised eyebrows, even back then. Many people who grew up in the 70s have vivid memories of these culinary experiments. One person recalled, "My aunt used to make this lime jello salad with shredded cabbage and carrots. I remember being both fascinated and slightly terrified by it at every family gathering." Despite the occasional oddball ingredient, jello salads held a special place in many hearts. They were a symbol of hospitality and creativity. Families looked forward to seeing what new concoction would appear at the next potluck or holiday dinner. These dishes weren't just food. They were conversation starters and a way to show off one's culinary prowess. Sure, these jello salads might not win any nutrition awards, but they certainly pushed culinary boundaries. Have you ever stopped to consider the sheer ingenuity required to suspend chunks of fruit, veggies, and even meat in a perfectly set gelatin mold? It's time to dive into the fascinating world of 70s jello cuisine, where home cooks became part-time food scientists. Creating the perfect jello salad was no small feat. It required a delicate balance of techniques and skills that would make even today's molecular gastronomists raise an eyebrow. Home cooks had to master the art of layering, timing, and temperature control to achieve those picture-perfect results we've all seen in vintage cookbooks. One of the biggest challenges was achieving the right texture and flavor balance. Too much liquid, and you'd end up with a soupy mess. Too little, and your jello would be rubbery and unappetizing. And let's not forget about the flavors. Combining sweet jello with savory ingredients was a tightrope walk that required a keen palate and a willingness to experiment. So, what's the science behind these wiggly wonders? It all comes down to gelatin, a protein derived from collagen. When gelatin is dissolved in hot water and then cooled, it forms a network of long, intertwined protein molecules that trap water and create that iconic jiggly texture. But here's where it gets tricky. Different ingredients can affect how gelatin sets. Acidic fruits like pineapple, kiwi, and fresh figs contain enzymes that break down gelatin proteins, preventing the jello from setting properly. That's why many recipes called for canned fruits instead of fresh ones. On the flip side, ingredients high in pectin like strawberries and apples could actually help the jello set more firmly. Home cooks developed all sorts of tricks to perfect their jello creations. One popular technique was the triple layer method. First, you'd pour a thin layer of jello and let it set partially. Then, you'd add a second layer with suspended ingredients, followed by a final clear layer on top. This created a stunning visual effect and kept heavier ingredients from sinking to the bottom. Another clever trick was using ice cubes to speed up the setting process. By replacing some of the cold water with ice cubes, cooks could get their jello to set faster and create interesting textures. Some even went as far as using a wire whisk to beat partially set jello, creating a light and fluffy jello snow that could be used as a topping or filling. As impressive as that jello salad sounds, its true power wasn't on the plate. It was at the potluck. Did you know that in the 1970s, your jello game could make or break your social status? Let's uncover the hidden world of gelatin-based social currency. In the 1970s, a jello salad wasn't just food, it was a social currency. These wobbly wonders played a crucial role in social gatherings and family life, often taking center stage at potlucks, church suppers, and holiday dinners. Bringing a well-crafted jello salad to an event was more than just contributing to the meal. It was a way to showcase your culinary skills, creativity, and hospitality. The communal nature of 70s dining was a stark contrast to our modern eating habits. Back then, meals were often shared events, with families and friends gathering around the table to enjoy home-cooked dishes. Jello salads, with their eye-catching appearance and often large serving sizes, were perfect for these communal settings. They encouraged conversation, sparked debates about ingredients, and created shared experiences that strengthened social bonds. Jello salads also played an interesting role in shaping gender roles and domestic expectations of the time. While cooking was traditionally seen as a woman's domain, the relative ease of making Jello salads allowed men to contribute to meal preparation without challenging established norms. This subtle shift opened the door for more inclusive family dynamics in the kitchen. The popularity of Jello salads even led to competitive events in some communities. Local fairs and church gatherings often featured Jello salad contests, where home cooks could showcase their most innovative creations. These competitions fostered a sense of friendly rivalry and community spirit, while also pushing the boundaries of what could be achieved with gelatin. Community cookbooks were another testament to the cultural significance of Jello salads. These locally produced recipe collections, often sold as fundraisers for schools or churches, invariably featured multiple pages dedicated to Jello creations. Each recipe was usually credited to a community member, adding a personal touch and allowing home cooks to literally make their mark in local culinary history. As we explore the social impact of Jello salads, it becomes clear that these dishes were more than just a trend. They were a form of creative expression. Home cooks used Jello as a medium to showcase their imagination and personality. A carefully crafted Jello salad could be a conversation starter, a way to impress the neighbors, or even a form of edible art.